From the movie Cocaine Bear hasn't come down, believe it or not. Now that stuffed bear, known as Pablo Escobar, the one that prompted the movie, well, it's officiating weddings.
He's getting promotions out of all of this. You know, his career skyrocketing. WKYT Samantha Valentino and photojournalist Darnell Crenshaw have this one-of-a-kind Kentucky story of a bride and groom that could barely wait to get married. It's new at 5:30.
Kentucky for Kentucky Fun Mall is already unique, but Monday's event takes the wedding cake because love is in the air.
Cocaine Bear's first wedding as the officiant.
The once coked up killer from North Georgia is showing a softer side.
We are gathered here today to bear witness and to celebrate Armando and Alexandra in holy high matrimony.
The idea came from an article Kentucky for Kentucky owner Griffin Van Meter did with Roadside America. He was asked about different things visitors can do with Escobar, and weddings came up in the conversation.
That line is what started it. So after that, we've been flooded with a lot of people who were like, I'm interested in getting married by Cocaine Bear. And we said, well, come on down.
And now the bride and groom to be will exchange vows.
Armando and Alexandra Elizondo are fans of the movie and made the 2.5-hour drive from Pikeville to Lexington to get hitched. Some heard wedding bells and had to stop in.
I'm very intrigued and I'm curious more than anything.
I guess if I were to get married, I would probably want a person to officiate.
By the power vested in me, by all the cocaine I ate in blue, I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Yeah, it was memorable, something to note. Not a lot of people, or not anybody else has done it, wanted to have a memorable wedding.
Memorable indeed, and officiated with caution.
A coked out bear behind you with your back turned to it. Something not everybody's too prone to do.
In Lexington, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
Riddle me speechless. That is something to remember for sure.